All right, guys, so in this video, we're going to be going over all the pros and cons of living in the city of Menifee, California, and we're going to get into that right now. Hey guys, it's Steven. I'm with the Southern California Living channel. In this channel, we go over everything about buying, selling, relocating to Southern California. So if you're considering selling or even moving to Southern California, consider using us as your agent. We'll be more than happy to help and assist you guys. Just give us a call, shoot us a text, or even send us an email, and we'll be more than happy to help you guys. Also, if you find value in these videos, consider subscribing, liking this video, sharing it with anyone who will like this type of videos. So before we get into it, I wanted to go over the reasons why I wanted to make this video. Because I myself relocated from a whole other country when we moved to Southern California many years ago. It was a very stressful time. It was very scary. Like I said, a lot of stresses, a lot of uncertainties because we were moving to a whole other country that we had no idea about. And I wish there was these type of videos out there back then to have helped us to make those decisions a little bit easier. When we first moved here, we flew here. We actually flew to Florida first. We didn't necessarily like the weather there because where we moved from was very humid, and Florida is extremely humid. So my mom was like, if we're moving to the other side of the world, I want to move somewhere where there's nice weather. There is nice weather in Florida, but the humidity was just killing us. So we moved to Southern California. We first started in San Diego, and city by city, we were driving, checking things out, checking out, the schools, checking out the homes, apartments, checking out the jobs and everything that the area had to give. And then finally, we found an area that took us months. But like I was saying, I wish there was videos just like this to have helped us with the decision a little bit easier. So that's the reason why I'm making this video, to hopefully help those who are moving from a different state, different country, or even just relocating from a different part of California to make that decision a little bit easier for you. So I'm going to be going over the pros and cons that I came up with myself of someone who actually lives here in Southern California, that's been living here for many years. Also from past clients that we have helped, and I've asked them, hey, what do you think about these areas now that you're living here? And I asked them about what their pros and cons were. So I put them all together, and this is what we came up with. So we're going to get into pros first. Pro number one is affordability. Menifee is extremely affordable if you're comparing it to different cities here in California. Yes, it's not the cheapest, but also it's not the most expensive. Whenever someone thinks of California, they're thinking about LA, San Francisco, San Diego, all the biggest cities, Orange County, of how expensive it is. Like, oh, I can't move to California because I can't afford a home that's $1 million, $2 million plus. Yes, that's true in some areas, but there's a lot of areas in California where you can still find a home for $500,000 to $600,000. Good size home in a safe area, very calm, and it's still growing. Menifee is one of them. Menifee is extremely affordable. You can find a home in the mid 500s to mid 600s. You can find some that are more, obviously less, depending what you're looking for. Here in Menifee, there are a lot of tract homes, but also there's custom homes and also people that live on property. So if you're looking for property, you have animals, you want a custom home, they have that here in Menifee as well as more custom homes or property that are, newer, more like luxury style. We have a couple of neighborhoods like that as well. There's a lot of new homes coming to Menifee that are very affordable, great homes in a good location. And that would be my number one pro, is affordability. It's extremely affordable considering different places here in California. Not even California, comparing it to different other cities and states that have just taken off that are way too expensive to move to. So if you're wanting to move to Southern California, definitely check out Menifee. Menifee is a great place to check out. Pro number two is the growth. Menifee is one of the fastest growing cities, not only in California, but in the United States. It has a ton of potential. It's grown like crazy. There's over 100,000 people that live here already, and there's a lot more room to grow. Menifee is a great place to move to now because we still haven't really scratched the surface as far as where Menifee can grow to. There's a lot of new homes, there's a lot of new developments, a lot of new shoppings coming here, a lot of big stores are coming to Menifee in the next few years because of how much growth there is here in Menifee and how much potential big companies see in Menifee. Menifee is growing like crazy in a good, healthy way though. There is a lot of people here, but it hasn't taken off like how Temecula has taken off just yet. But you give it a few more years, I feel like Menifee is going to be just behind Temecula as far as growth goes. And also the good thing about that is equity. More growth, values go up. So if you purchase now and Menifee continues to grow the way it is, you're going to be sitting pretty good in your pockets. A lot of people who have moved here just 2-3 years ago have a ton of equity in their home already because of how much Menifee has grown. in the last few years. So if you're looking for a place that you want to be a part of the growth and you want to be in a place where your equity can grow in a healthy way, then you need to consider Menifee. So that's another pro of mine. Another pro is location. A lot of people are going to say Menifee's in the middle of bloody nowhere. And we kind of are. But let me explain. So we are in the desert, so people say that we're in the middle of nowhere. I get it. But when you consider where we are as far as location goes, it's amazing. We're right by San Diego, Orange County, and LA. And it's only like an hour and a bit of drive to get to either one of those cities. So if you want to be somewhere where you're not paying the $1+, $2+ million, price tag for a home, then Menifee is definitely an area that you need to consider. You're only an hour away from San Diego, you're only an hour away from Orange County, and you're probably an hour and 20, an hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours to LA, depending what part of LA you're driving to. A lot of people like that because you're in the middle of bigger cities. Not only that, you're very close to the desert to actually go ride your motorcycles, go camping out there. You're close to the mountains, so if you like snowboarding, skiing, and all those, outdoorsy things in the winter, you have that as well. Well, even in the summertime, people like to go out in the summertime to the mountains and go stay over there for a few days. And also, we're not that far away from the beach. The closest beach to us is Oceanside, and it's only about a 50-minute to an hour drive from here. And you're not that far. So people always say you can go visit the beach and then the mountain on the same day, and that the only place you can really do that, or one of the few places you can do that, is here in Southern California. So the location of Menifee is amazing. So if you want to be in a place where you're not spending crazy amount of money for a home, but you're still close to those places, then consider Menifee, and that's another pro for me. Another pro is a small town feel. Yes, it's growing like crazy. Yes, there's 100,000 people here. You still get that small town feel. Well, that's a lot of people that I know that live in Menifee, and even past clients, what it's been like living there, and they kind of like that feel where it's laid back. People aren't so rushy like the bigger cities. Kids are still playing outside, hanging out at the parks. So a lot of people have been saying that, Menifee has that small town feel, especially if you buy property with 5, 10 acres and you live in a nice home, you still have that nice small town feel. I'm going to talk about some stuff that are cons about that. Yes, the small town feel is definitely a plus a lot of people have been talking about. So that's another pro right there. Another pro, which is extremely important, is how safe it is. It's extremely safe here. Yes, can things happen? Can things go down? Of course, it can happen anyway. It can happen in the most safest areas. But as far as considering everything, Menifee is extremely safe. You don't ever really hear about stuff going down there. You talk to families there, you talk to people who live in Menifee, they say nothing ever happens. People feel very safe about, their spouses going with their kids to shopping or the park. Don't have to really worry about themselves. Yes, of course, you have to be cautious about, every situation that you're in nowadays. But overall, it's extremely safe to be here. It's very quiet. Like I said, you go walk around here, there's kids playing with basketball, soccer, baseball at the parks by themselves. There's kids playing on the streets. People are still out late at night shopping. Overall, it's very safe, which is a really good thing. So if you're looking for a place that's affordable, that has a ton of growth, and that's safe, then consider Menifee one of those areas to check out. Another pro I'm going to say, and I might get some pushback on this, is the weather. And I'm going to go talk about the weather, the cons as well. But to me, the weather is great here. Does the summertime get hot? Yes, because we're in the desert. But overall, the weather here is extremely nice. In the mornings and in the evenings, it's very, very nice here. In the summertime, yes, during the day, you can get really, really hot. But in the morning and at night, it's nice. You still get that ocean breeze because we're not too far away from the ocean. We just have the mountains separating us. But you still get that nice breeze at night. In the summertime, sometimes it's kind of cold where you still have to put a sweater on in the summertime at night. But not always. But the autumn here, the fall, and the spring are super, super nice. You can't beat it. In the wintertime as well. If you're looking for a cold winter, it might not be a place that you want to come check out. But, in the wintertime at night, it probably gets in like the mid to high 30s, low 40s. And then during the day, you can still wear a shirt and shorts. During the day, where, over here, you see people walking around in shorts and a shirt, even at the beach in the wintertime. There's some days and some weeks during the winter where it does get kind of chilly, but it doesn't rain here. It's very nice here. If you're a person whose mood is affected by the weather, about the conditions outside, then this is a great place to move to, because I know a lot of places are very gloomy during the winter time or even during the spring, and it can kind of mess with your mood. It's very hard to be happy. It's very hard to, feel outgoing or feel motivated. I'm one of those people. I've been to different states where in the wintertime, it's just cloudy all the time. It's bloody snowing all the time. And you're just like, oh, I don't feel like doing anything. I feel down. I feel like doing nothing. But here in California, the sun's almost always out, which is amazing. So if you're looking for nice weather year round, the sun mostly out all the time, then Menifee in Southern California overall is a place that you need to check out. Another pro for me, and this might be weird, but I've never seen anyone talking about it, the international airports and domestic airports that we're close to. So we're kind of in the middle of all those big airports. So if you're one that are going to be flying out of the country or, to different states, we have a lot of options here as far as airports go, which is a great thing because then you can compare prices and we'll see which one's cheaper and fly to those. So here we're the closest to Ontario Airport. We're close to Palm Springs, which lately they've been having great domestic flight deals. We're close to Orange County, which is John Wayne, LAX, and San Diego. Obviously, LAX, I would avoid it at all cost. It's crazy there. It's hell getting in and out of there because it's always crazy. But other ones that I do enjoy flying out of is Orange County or San Diego. It's not that far, but we have a lot of options here. So if you're flying out a lot for work, then this is a great place to come check out because you have many different options. I know it doesn't really matter when your work is paying for it because they're paying for all your expenses anyways. It's nice to have the option of picking, which airport and, maybe picking a direct flight versus another airport where you got to stop 2-3 other places to even get to where you want to get to. And that's another pro for me, is being close to airports. So here's another pro. And this is going to be for the commuters. So this is a great area if you're going to be commuting and you're commuting from either San Diego, Orange County, or LA. Yes, it's going to be kind of like a longer drive, commuting an hour and a half. But if you're okay with that, then this is a great place so you don't have to pay the crazy prices like LA, Orange County, and San Diego price tags are, like I was explaining before. But yeah, there's a lot of commuters that live here. A lot of people that work from home live in Menifee. And if you're in the military and you're stationed out at Camp Pendleton, Menifee is a great place. There's a lot of military families that live here in Menifee. And one of the major reasons why is because where Camp Pendleton is, all the cities around there are bloody expensive. You have Oceanside, Carlsbad, San Marcos, Escondido. Those areas are pretty expensive. So a lot of people come out to Menifee or the surrounding areas of Menifee and make that commute. And people are loving it. So there's a big military town here in Menifee. We appreciate all that you guys do for us and for your service. That's another pro for me and for the commuters. Another pro for me, and this might be a little bit interesting, but I'm a sports person, so this is why I'm going to talk about this. And if you're a sports person, you might like this as well, is that because we are closer to the biggest cities, we have access to the sporting events. So if you are a San Diego fan, you got the Padres down there. You also have now the soccer team coming, San Diego FC. So if you're a soccer fan and want to support a new team, San Diego has a team. Or up in LA, we got the Lakers. You got the other team that's in town that I'm not going to mention. Just kidding, the Clippers that are there. You got LA Galaxy, who I'm a fan of. Then you got the other LA team the neighbors that are there. But LAFC, we have them there. We got the Dodgers. You got the Angels. You got a lot of sporting. If you like hockey, there's, the LA Kings, you got the Anaheim Ducks, which is Anaheim's not that far away. Also, you have the Rams and the Chargers there. So you got football, you got baseball, basketball, soccer, hockey. You got all of that close to us. And I've been to a lot of these events. You can be there within an hour and drive back home at that time. There's no traffic as well. It's a great place to have. It's really cool because here in Menifee, you're going to meet fans from all over the place. I'm a big Raiders fan, as you can tell by the helmet that I have out there. Obviously, Raiders aren't close here, but we're close enough drive to Vegas. We're only 3.5 hours from Vegas. So I go to Vegas all the time because of the Raiders. I'm a big Galaxy fan, so I like to go to LA and watch the soccer games in LA. And I'm a Lakers fan. Those tickets are so bloody expensive that I only make it out when I can. But we got the Lakers that are close by as well, and the Clippers as well that are building a new stadium in Inglewood, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so we're close to different sporting teams, which is really, really cool. So if you're a big sports fan, then Menifee's probably an area that you probably want to consider. One more pro that I'm going to finish off with is there's new development going up everywhere. I already talked about that a little bit with growth, but I want to talk about more the new builds. There's a lot of new builds coming here to Menifee. And also the surrounding areas of Menifee, which is like Winchester, Homeland, Marietta, Temecula area as well. And that's a good thing because a lot of people nowadays, they want a new home, not necessarily like a resale or a used home. So if you're looking for a new home and you're thinking about moving to Southern California, consider Menifee. Menifee has a lot of new builds, a lot of different styles. You got single story, 2-story homes here, starting in the low 500s up to, the mid 600s, depending what you're looking for. They have them here and they're going to continue to grow. So if you're looking for a new home and wanting to move to Southern California, consider Menifee as one of those areas to look into. All right, now we're going to get into the cons. So there's not many cons, but one of the cons that many people talk about, and it sucks around here, is the traffic. The more people that move here, yes, there's going to be more traffic. On the freeway in the mornings and in the evenings, during the rush hour time, there's a lot of cars, there's a lot of traffic everywhere. Getting in and out of things is kind of hell, but it doesn't last too long. We haven't gotten to what Temecula is just yet. And Temecula is traffic, I feel like, all the time. But Menifee is not just yet. Obviously, in the weekends, it can get kind of crowded. People going shopping, trying to go out. Or even in the summertime, now that we're in the summer, kids are out of school. So a lot of people are going out, doing more activities, going out to the beach, going out shoppings in different areas. So it can create a little bit more traffic. But for the most part, it's more during the rush hour times, like in the early morning. If you leave by 6, it's already too late. You're going to hit traffic, especially depending on where you're commuting to. But if you're leaving by 6, 6:30, you're definitely going to hit traffic up until about 9:30 is when it clears up. And in the afternoon, if you come from LA, Orange County, San Diego, by 2:30, you're going to be sitting in traffic for a while too, up until 7 when it clears up. That's the kind of sucky part about Menifee, and also the surrounding areas that are growing so fast is the traffic. So if you don't really like traffic, you don't like sitting in traffic, then maybe Menifee is not the place for you. Another con of Menifee is you kind of feel like you're in the boonies a little bit. And let me explain. So here in Menifee, close by, there's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of, shopping, there's a lot of little things to do for the kids and stuff. But if you're on more the younger side, more of what the nightlife, a lot more things to do, and you want to live close to that, then Menifee is probably not the best place for you because we don't really have much of that. Now, we have the wineries that are in Temecula, which is 20-25 minutes from here in Old Town. But other than that, there's not really much to do for the nightlife. So if that's something that you're looking for, then Menifee maybe is not the place for you. All right, the final and last con is one that I use in the pros, but I'm going to use it in the cons, is the weather. So the reason why I say the weather is a con is because a lot of people have complained about how hot it gets here, how we don't really have a real winter, we don't really have a real fall, and stuff like that. To me, I like that. I'm not much of a 4-season person. If I could have nice weather year-round, I'll take it. It's one of the reasons why I live here in Southern California. If you want to have a white Christmas and have snow here, probably not a place for you. If you want to have a fall where, you have the leaves falling down for a while and having that fall feel, you don't really get that here. In the summertime, like I said, it gets pretty warm during the day. It does get hot. There's been times where, a couple of weeks out of the year, we might be in the hundreds, maybe even 3 weeks, but we're nothing like Las Vegas or Arizona, like that type of summer, because at least in the evenings and in the mornings, it cools down. But yeah, if you're looking for that 4 seasons like other states offer, or even up in Northern California, you're just not going to get that here. So if that's what you're looking for, then probably Menifee is not a good place for you. All right, so overall, the pros I feel like outweigh the cons for sure. I think Menifee is a great area for anyone. If you got kids, you got no kids, if you're just starting out, if you're retiring, it's very affordable, it's very safe, there's a lot of things coming, there's a lot of growth happening. And I really do feel like that outweighs the cons as far as the traffic, if you don't like the weather here, and kind of being far away from things. But other than that, I think overall, Menifee is a great place to consider. So if you're thinking about moving to Menifee and you have more questions, or even the surrounding towns, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We'll be more than happy to help you guys and sit down with you guys and go more into detail, or maybe questions that maybe I didn't answer on this video that I can answer for you on the phone, on Zoom, or even email, and figure out if Southern California is for you or not. And if it's not, we'll be more than happy to recommend you to different areas that might be a good fit for you. So like I said, always feel free to reach out to us. Always consider us as an option for someone to represent you. Also, again, please subscribe to the channel if you made it this far and share it with anyone who might be interested in Menifee or the surrounding areas. I truly appreciate each and one of you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next video.